Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another Gentleman's Corner. And today we have Mr. Freedo, or also known as the self-proclaimed motherfucking king
You
of
can't even
interviews.
say it.
I fucked it up. You say it.
Self-proclaimed motherfucking king of ...
Interviews. All right. So I have 10 questions here, and we'll kind of go through them and try and answer as honest as possible. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. You ready?
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
I can't promise honesty though, but sure.
Whatever you feel is honest. How about that?
All right.
All right. So the first question is, what or who inspired you to YouTube and why?
Well, inspiration's kind of a funny word. Honestly, and I don't know if anybody watches my channel knows anything about me, but I went to school for broadcasting, so the whole idea of media and stuff isn't new to me. In fact, I'm overqualified to do YouTube, no offense. But I've watched YouTube for a few years before I started, and some of my favorite channels were Thunder, That Guy Who Camps, Only Use Me Blade. Pretty much those are my biggest guys. But for me to start, pretty much it wasn't I want to be like someone else. I started because, one, I wanted to get an outlet of just practice doing things media related, and two, I hated MW3 with a burning passion. As well as the whole community of Call of Duty, I think, was terrible, the worst it's ever been, worse than it is now, because obviously now I'm in the community, so obviously it's great. But in MW3, the community was all Moabs and stuff, and that's pretty much what I started my channel to destroy.
Right. Well, I mean, the self-inspiration sometimes the best, and if you're in that line of work or in that field, then right now I guess YouTube is one of the hotter outlets for that. So
yeah.
All right. So the next question is, if you could play only one video game for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh fuck. I mean, gaming now to me is such a different thing than it was before I started YouTube. So honestly, I get to the point where I don't even really want to game when it's not for YouTube. It's kind of ugly and like, oh, you should game because you love it. And honestly, I have no problem gaming just for YouTube. But if I had to pick one thing just to play for me for fun, it's probably Quake 3 Arena. But again, I don't really need to game that much. I'm more into the culture of it than I am having to game. Like, I enjoy sitting around with buddies and letting them play and just hanging out. Like, I don't really need to play.
Sure. What would you say is your favorite band or musical group or singer or rapper?
Rage Against the Machine.
Big Rage Against the Machine fan?
Yeah, I'm actually a huge music fan. I have a lot of permutations of where I would like my professional career to go, but one of it would be being a music critic or an art critic, but music is probably the thing I know the best out of like movies and TV and stuff in terms of criticism. But growing up, I was born in '90, so the whole rap rock thing was big when I was a kid, and kind of I like all types of music throughout all different genres and time periods, but Rage Against the Machine is like the cliche thing that I default to. I still like the Beatles, and I still like rap, but Rage is it's got it all mixed into one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the recent stuff I kind of like checked out. Some of the stuff they did is kind of weird, but the older stuff is really where it's at.
I'm not even familiar. What do you mean recent? Like
a few years ago, they tried to do something else. I'll see if I can find a link.
They did a cover album, but if that's what you meant, that's like the last main thing that I think they did.
Oh, you know what? That was part of it. I had watched something online, and somebody was talking about that, and they were doing some I think somebody said they were doing some private shows, and they had a recording, and it didn't sound it didn't sound like them, I guess you can say.
I see.
All right, what would you say, if you had one, is your biggest regret in life?
Biggest. I was thinking a bunch of small ones that kind of were anticlimactic. Let's think of one that's actually serious. The way I approached going to school, pretty much when I was in high school, school was pretty easy. I went to a shitty ghetto school, so getting decent grades was not hard at all. But I wish I applied myself more, because if I did just a little bit of effort, could have got a 4.0 easily, college ride, that kind of thing. I only applied to one college, was on the waiting list, and I don't know. It's just, my family's not really educated, I guess you would say. Like, my generation's the only people that really went to college, and I wish I knew a lot more, or at least kind of investigated, because there's a lot of advice I could give to people. Like, you can go to like a community school for your prereqs, and then go to a better school and for the money reasons, and I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, how I treated going to school and education, I wish I could redo, but boring.
No, that's good. I've often thought the same thing, just because I'm in a professional environment now, but I wish there were things I could have did better, especially when I was like applying to colleges and stuff. So that I completely understand. All right, next question. Disregarding money or income or anything along those lines, what would you say would be your dream career? And I know you went to school for broadcasting, but if there's anything outside of that.
Comedian. Yep. Ever since I was probably 5 or 6, that's probably what I wanted to be, an actor, but I didn't know what that meant at the time. Mm-hmm. Like that's the word I used to go, like, hey, little Andy, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, an actor, like Adam Sandler, something stupid like that, Jim Carrey, guys like that. But really, and then as I kind of grew and developed from being a teenager till now, a stand-up comedian, and that's a dream I'm actually pursuing fairly soon here. I'm writing a lot of material for that, so we'll see how that works out.
Awesome. Well, good luck with that.
I know. Why not?
No,
you're only young once.
That's right. I mean, you try it, and if you fail, then you fail. If not, then you make it. So, all right. Next question. Who do you think would win in a fight? 10 5-year-olds with box cutters, or 5 10-year-olds with leather belts?
The 10-year-olds for sure. I mean, it doesn't matter the weapon so much. The just the size of those kids. The 10-year-olds are gonna choke the shit out of the 5-year-olds.
Even if they get cut with the box cutters?
Doesn't matter. I mean, if you have some pussy-ass 10-year-olds that get cut and, like, are afraid of blood or something, maybe. But just the size advantage. If you know anything about, like, fighting, boxing, the reach, that's like, you're talking about a whole foot of difference of arm reach. Like, There's no reason why the 10-year-olds shouldn't win that hands down. They don't even need a weapon, in my opinion. All
right, just hand-to-hand combat versus...
Yeah, they'll be fine.
All right. So, in terms of YouTube, does your wife approve of your YouTube activities?
What kind of joke is that? Or not joke, what kind of question is that? I don't know if you mean how I conduct myself or just the whole act of doing it. What do you mean?
Just the whole act of doing it.
Does she approve of the evil, disgusting things you say? I think she approves of it more since it's something that, you can build up and either do it to make some money on the side. I mean, like, take a guy like Thunder, he makes quite a hefty amount of money doing what he does, and his wife can't stand it. My relationship with my wife, luckily, we have different tastes, and when we're in our own separate corners of the house, we can just leave each other alone, but she doesn't mind too much. I think she disliked more if I was just playing video games and wasting time that way. It's been a struggle to get her to accept playing video games, to be honest with you. So the YouTube thing, that's much easier to explain. Right.
Well, there's some output to it, so.
Yeah.
Right. If you were president, who do you think would be your vice president?
Hillary Clinton. And... I don't know. I don't fucking know. I would George Carlin. He's dead. I don't know. Vice president. That's such a irrelevant position, though. You pretty much pick someone that you think could take care of things if you die.
Right.
Otherwise, they don't really do anything. We could use the Sarah Palin definition of vice president. The vice president has a big role in supporting and just getting in there with Congress and. Yeah, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. But honestly, I have no idea how to answer that.
For the reason I ask this question is some people look at one of two ways. They either A, look at who would be a balance for them, or B, who would be able to take over for them if they were ever to pass on, so to speak. The other side of that question is if it had to be a woman, but if you said Hillary Clinton, so we'll take that.
I know she's running, so she can have it. I don't want that kind of job. I like the job of standing on the sidelines talking shit about the people taking themselves seriously. That's the job I want.
Absolutely. If you were a rapper, what would be your rap name?
Well, the funny thing is, funny that you say that like Freedo has been my nickname for a long time, and since like middle school. And when I was in middle school, I actually was into DJing, so like DJ Freedo, and I guess I would probably continue that alias and be DJ Freedo, kind of like Juicy J or something like that.
Awesome. All right, last question, and this is what most people look forward to in terms of these questions. It's the murder, bang, or marry question here.
Oh God.
And this is the Butterface edition. So, first question, or the three people is Lady Gaga, Brooke Hogan, or Lil' Kim.
I'm a little hazy on Brooke Hogan. She's blonde. What? Hold on, let me Google search. What has she been in?
She's Hulk Hogan's daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right. But she hasn't done anything, right?
I think her claim to fame is she's Hulk Hogan's daughter.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
what
think she
meant.
had a music video or something.
And it's I gotta kill, fuck, and marry. Is that the deal?
Yep.
And we have Gaga, Brooke Hogan, and who's the last one?
Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim. All right. Fuck. Well, we're just gonna kill Brooke Hogan because she's pretty much useless. I don't think there's any. She has no redeeming qualities in her. Toss up between now we got to either marry or fuck Lil' Kim or Gaga. So Lil' Kim's dangerous. Gaga is flamboyantly self-interested and artistic in quotation marks. She thinks she's a real artist, but at least she's interesting. If you have to spend your whole life with a woman, at least have some fire in there. So we're gonna marry Gaga and fuck Lil' Kim.
Alrighty. And finally, is there anything else that you want to say to anybody who's watching or listening to this?
Like the video. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right, awesome. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I know you have a busy day, week, weekend, everything. I'll put a link in the description, both your channels, your first and your second. I subscribe to both because I like the randomness from the second and I like the seriousness from the first. And everybody else should do the same as well.
Thanks, buddy.
Not a problem. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, bud.